I just gotta put random bot. If I could put my leg behind my neck still, I could. Used to be able to do that. Can't anymore. At 35, my joints do not bend that way anymore. The Naked Gun. I initially did my theater reaction last night. Really enjoyed the movie. But I came out saying, I don't even think I'm going to really do a review. There's not much for me to go off of and talk about. But I've sat on long enough, heard a couple other takes that I agree with the points they made, and maybe disagree with some other points that are made. And I went, yeah, I didn't think I can do an actual review. It won't be still a very long review, but longer than what I did out of the theater reaction. So if you don't know the Naked Gun came out in the 80s with Leslie Nielsen. It was actually based off a 6-episode show about a police force called Police Squad, and he was Lieutenant Detective Frank Drebin, and he ran around solving cases. And it was a spook comedy, same vein as something like Airplane, Top Secret, Hot Shots. It was a spoof parody series, and it's beloved. Even if the movies aren't, always great, the benchmark of a good comedy is really very simple. Does it make you laugh? Yeah, and movies that have more of a plot, like say, what was it, Joyride, or a Ride Along, or say Rush Hour, something like that. The plot maybe matters a bit more because it is a comedy, yes, but it actually has a actual plot with stakes and stuff going on in there. With movies that are parody and spoof, the plot kind of is irrelevant. First off, the bad guys are probably going to lose and the good guys are probably going to win. That's not always the case, but still. And it's really just a matter of, okay, does this still work? Does this make you laugh? Can we still make good movies like this and have them appeal to the mass audiences? And I can say thoroughly from my experience that, at least for me and the audience I was with, it absolutely still worked. Now, Seth MacFarlane didn't direct this, he produced it, but you can still feel fingerprints on here of Seth MacFarlane. Because he's worked with Liam Neeson before in Ted 2 briefly, which was one of the funniest scenes in that movie, and Million Ways to Die in the West, which a lot of people didn't like. I personally did like Million Ways to Die in the West. I can understand, though, why it didn't work for everyone. I can get behind why it didn't work. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand like, why do people hate this? It's like, no, comedy's subjective. Not everything works, especially in comedy. So I can get that, but I can't remember who exactly directed this, but not only did it work for me, but according to 88% of the audience and 91% of the critics, it still worked. One of those cases where the more critics liked it than the audience. Same with the movie Together, which I intended to see last night with my girlfriend, but there was something that happened that just ruined the mood of the evening for it. But it's been taken care of. And Bad Guys 2, which I'll see on Tuesday. It's holding at 86%. So all the films that came out this week are holding really strong, but who would have thought Naked Gun would have the highest rated reviewers of the three of those? And apparently the majority of the most audience response, positive audience response, although we haven't seen Bad Guys audience scores yet. Bad Guys 2. So, yeah, look, it does follow their standard formula. Lieutenant Detective Frank Drebin, played by Liam Neeson, is investigating a crime that leads to a bigger conspiracy, and he's got to stop the bad guy, Danny Houston. Along the way, he meets a femme fatale, played by Pamela Anderson, and they have a romance, they fall out, they get back together. Will they succeed in stopping the bad guy? Oh, what the hell do you think? You're just here to laugh. That is the movie. And on that front, this movie delivers. This movie is hilarious. It absolutely is. And what really works is the same thing that worked in the original Naked Gun series. Is that it works because they're delivering these jokes and these lines with just deadpan seriousness. It's not one of those things where you're trying to be funny. You're actually trying to play it serious, and by trying to play it serious, you're actually being funny. So there are a couple lines that floored the audience, that actually had us, that I actually had to, I think I said it before in the theater, that I actually had to stop myself from continuing to laugh so I could hear the next joke. I actually had to contain my laughter because it literally, everyone was laughing straight. It's when he first meets Pamela Anderson. I'm not going to say anything, but it's a joke about her ass. And that's all I'll leave it at. And when you hear the joke, you'll know. This is one of those things where me revealing a joke probably wouldn't matter that much, just due to the fact that it's the context in which it's delivered. Like, there is a whole comedic bit here about them. You see a bit of it in the trailer about them bringing a snowman to life, and it suddenly turned. And I thought the same thing. I was watching Doug and Brad's video earlier. It turned into Jack Frost all of a sudden. Like, what? But it actually is really funny how that played out. And then there's other scenes too that aren't like visual gags. There aren't jokes per se, like telling a joke or dialogue, Larry. They're visual gags. That scene you see in the trailer where he looks at the night vision, looks like she's going down on him, and it's like, oh man, this was filthy. That's just the beginning of that. That scene goes on for like 3 to 4 minutes. Everyone's just dying. Like one of the last jokes you saw coming, but it's still hilarious. There's another joke that's kind of playing fun at Mission Impossible a little bit. Just that, like, in an interrogation scene, and not just how they're interrogating, but then like the reveals and the reveals upon the reveals. There are jokes in here that really, really hit the mark. Danny Houston's great in the film too. He's playing himself. He's playing these characters that you normally play, but in a comedic fashion. Like he's like this tech bro nerd almost. And it all culminates in a fight, the climax, admittedly, a lot of people said is a little weak. Like, it's the finale, it starts to lose steam in the finale. And I think I could actually agree with that. Not that there still aren't jokes that don't work. It's just that it does start to lose a little bit of its momentum. Like, more of the jokes aren't hitting as much now, but still enough jokes are hitting that you're still enjoying yourself. And like the fight is very amusing. And not to mention there's cameos. There's a line where it's like, once you kill a man, there's no going back. Again, there's more to that joke than what you get. And you stop to think to yourself, that was awesome. It is a really, really funny time. I am surprised too. I don't believe this is R-rated. I don't think it's R-rated. Because they don't really swear. There's no F-bombs or anything that I can remember. But there are some adult-ass jokes in here that, quite frankly, kind of were R-rated. No, it's just PG-13. It really is just PG-13. So yeah, I all the actors are great. Paul Walter Hauser's having a great year between Fantastic Four and this, and he's funny. Like everyone is just playing their part and playing it well, and I really did enjoy this film. If you want, and look, it's the thing is, what makes this so good, it's not critic proof. There's no movie's technically critic proof, but what makes this so good is all you gotta judge this movie on is not plot or this doesn't make sense or this, how did this happen? Why would he do this? Because it's is just a straight comedy, spoof parody comedy kind of thing. So that's all you gotta judge it on. And the question just simply comes down to, did it make you laugh? Did you have a good time? Did you enjoy yourself? Did it make you laugh? And for me, that's absolutely yes. This is an absolute win of a film. I hope it does well. It's only made them like 42 million. So if it opens anything above 20 million this week, it's already got a good start. Absolutely it does. I don't know what the tracking is on it, but we'll have to see. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said, I'm going to go see Bad Guys 2 on Tuesday. I got the day off, and it's going to be matinee, so that'll be perfect time to go see it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.